Okay, guys, welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed my little small yapping about random nonsense for like 3 or 4 minutes, as I went all the way from Fort, not as I went all the way to Fort Lauderdale. Sorry, and you guys saw me there. I was super ecstatic about my hotel, and I did say I would review games, but I honestly never did. And if I did, it was kind of random. Like I pretty much was either falling asleep or really just failing to record videos per usual. So maybe I just got really lazy or tired. But anyways, I'm here simply just to review these three games. These were like the top games of the tournament. I was always on the DGT boards for the remainder of the next 4 rounds. The last 4 rounds, sorry. Besides the first round where I played on a normal board, the rest of the tournament I was really playing on DGT, so I felt really, really happy. And I'm gonna go first really quickly um, to my game in the. I want to say, yeah, this is my game in the third round of the tournament. I was versing Henry Soto, who is this really strong international master from Cuba. I had the white pieces, and he had the black pieces. In the game, I played the move e4. He went for the move c5, still in defense. And I'll be honest, I really did not have much preparation at all. I played this bishop e2, which wasn't preparation at all. I simply wanted to get a position. He played the move d6, d3, knight f6, h3. Whole reason is I want to put my bishop on e3, but I can't do it because he'll have knight g4. So let's say, for example, that I were to put my bishop on e3, now he can go knight g4. And if he does h3, well, simply he just takes, and black simply is just better with a reasonable advantage. He eventually has the queenside expansion with like rook b8. You go like b5, castles, and simply crack open the center because he has the two bishops. So for that reason, I go h3. He went kingside castle, I went bishop e3. And this is perhaps the only moment in the game where Henry could try to solidify into a more defining pawn structure with the clear intention that I will never really get what I want, which is the d4 break, by playing the move e5. And this stops me from playing d4. I would have done knight d2 to go knight c4, f4, etc. But in the game, he actually decided to play the move b6, which I thought was a good relief. I thought, okay, at least this game will actually play out and I'll have some chances to maybe solidify and hold the game. So I crack open with d4. We chop, 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 chop. And as you guys can see, I simply chopped off all the pieces. I simply find ways to force the trades. So I play e5, chop, chop, bishop f3. After a couple of moves again, chop, chop. I find this really crucial move for rook d4, idea being I want to double with rook fd1, but also not allow any b4 minority expansion, and then simply just find a way to consolidate. He went rook c8, I went a4, queen c5, I chop chop, and after bishop takes f6 and rook d5, I simply find this crucial fortress idea with rook d5. He had to give me the queen trade, with rook b8 and rook a2, and I simply saw that even if he were to trade off my knight, even though I get the doubled pawns, this endgame will forever be a draw, unfortunately for him. Like, he could try to infiltrate, like let's say I'm rook b1 and king h2, but this pawn was always going to be weak and I'm fronting rook c5, so he never really has time to go after my own pawns, despite being isolated and doubled. So I evaluated really precisely. He went rook d8, I went rook a4, idea being again, if he were to take on b2, I would take his rook with check. So he cannot take on b2, I just take his rook. If he were to take my knight, well, again, I just trade rooks first, then I take the pawn. He has to defend this pawn, I simply bring my king back into the center. So for that reason alone, again, he goes rook c8, I went back. And after a while, I traded up the rooks, went king e2, knight b1, rook a4. And after he took on b2, he offered me a draw, and I immediately took it. Let's break this down really quick. This is the best result. At that point, that was the best result in my career as I drew Henry Soto. Henry Soto is currently his live FIDE rating is 2468, so you can say I drew an actual legitimate international master with the white pieces. And I felt extremely fortunate. I felt extremely happy because I sort of got what I wanted. I sort of found a way to force trades and get a position which I felt comfortable with. And luckily in this position again, he just didn't really feel like he had much because there's no counterplay for him. I simply was going to snatch his last pawn, and I really would be the only one with a pass pawn with any ideas of winning. So I extremely just felt really happy with taking the draw, and honestly, I really could not have wished for a better result. This was simply it. Like this was the dream right here. So moving on to round four, I would then have the white pieces again, except this time against FIA Master Eric Rodriguez, and Eric hasn't played in over a decade, and so I was looking forward to having our own match, simply see how I go, maybe have a good opportunity to take him down, and I played the move e4. I stick to my guns. I decide, you know what, I'm gonna stick to my opening preparation. I'm gonna play e4, and Eric plays the one move which I really still haven't prepared much against, which is the move d6. I haven't prepared much against the perk, so I really have no clue what to do. I went for the move d4, knight f6, bishop d3, and really the only thing I remember is that there was a game in which I went for the move knight c3, e5, knight f3, bishop e7, sorry, knight d7, sorry, bishop c4, bishop e7, and this is against international master Sergio Duran, who I think I did like the move h6 or something, or he did the move h6 or something. Like I think I just castled and he went like h6 and castled, and the position kind of just became normal. This is basically the only time I ever played against the perk, and now we have Eric. Eric again. I played bishop d3, e5. After a little quick think, I played the move c3. I thought I need to consolidate my position. He went for the move d5, which I thought was very dynamic, very counterintuitive, simply brought a lot of complications. I instantly took the pawn e5. He took. I went queen e2. In retrospect, I was calculating a lot the move bishop takes d5, bishop takes e4, because after takes, I would have gone for the move queen e4 check, knight c6, queen takes e4, and bishop e6. This is simply what I calculated. I saw bishop d5 was coming in, and let's say I put my knight in f3, bishop d5. I thought this position with queen e2 was just really bad, because queen d7, Eric's going to castle queenside, go bishop c5 or e8, and he has like a lot of pieces on the initiative. So for that reason alone, I did not take the pawn. I simply just went queen e2, went knight c5, bishop c2 is fine, knight c6, and now the move b4, crucial, attacking the knight, and knight f3. Here Eric goes for the move a5, simply again, going off the rails, trying to get some complications. I went move b5, knight e7, knight d4, and I simply initiate a trade of knights, and I swapped for the bishop for his knight dynamic. He took back, I castled, bishop e7, bishop a3, chop chop, rook c1, queen e7, and knight c2. And here, as you guys can see, his weak c5 pawn, he needs to find a way to get c5 break. If he doesn't have the c5 break, he's pretty much effectively inferior throughout the most of the game. And literally, after the move a4, I realized, oh, I have advantage. I played the move knight e3, bishop, bishop e4, f3, bishop g6, rook c5, and as you guys can see, I'm completely winning. I apparently had to do the move knight takes d5, but I thought after queen d8, knight takes c7, he would have taken on d4, and I didn't really see a way to shine through, because I thought he would have gone like rook d8, and maybe get some counterplay, but apparently this was just completely winning. And I don't know, I probably just hallucinated here. I played the move rook c5, forcing him to go b6, rook d8, f4, bishop e4, queen d2. And after a long think, I initially was thinking he was going to do f6, and my whole intention was to do the move f5, bishop e8, rook e6, queen b4, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes, and then the move queen g4. This is initially what I had calculated, and I thought he can't do rook takes f6 because I take it, and he really just doesn't have any moves. I'm simply going to go, like, let's say he goes rook f7. I was thinking here I would maybe just took it, rook takes, and queen h4, and I thought this was winning with knight g4, knight h6. So I thought he probably is cooked here. Like, I thought he's simply in the gravestone mark. But no, after a while, he literally just blitzed out the move bishop to e4 without much hesitation, and this instantly kind of threw me off. I really didn't have any idea what to do afterwards. So I really should have gone for the move f5. I don't know why I didn't. I went queen d2. I didn't like the idea of him going queen b4. f6, knight g4. I get the outpost for my knight. We trade rooks, and after a short while, I made the unfortunate decision simply to repeat. Here, the rest is just this simply a broadcast error. We're simply just analyzing whatever g6, and I don't know. I feel like the draw was okay. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for the draw, but I honestly thought that this was a good decision on my part. So I don't know. I simply just could not see it really easy after analyzing with him. Really, we saw that the engine still preferred white, but throughout some computer lines, and it really was not kind of like human. It felt more counterintuitive, because I would have had to give him like the light squares and being like a main net all the time, and somehow magically it would be saved, which I think was just there's no way I would ever go into this. So yeah, it's really unfortunate, but we move on, and finally we get the main game. This is the most important game ever. I think this really highlights again. This is probably the best tournament game I played in my life so far. It's against Grandmaster Julio Becerra. I have the black pieces, and I'm just going to flip the board over. Let me see if I flip it. There we go. I have black. And Julio is right now actually not having a good tournament because he would go on first round or second round to draw Sophie Lee. I think first round he drew Sophie Lee, who was this really nice, I think Canada Master or yeah, I think she's a woman Canada Master, woman FM. I really don't know. She was able to draw Julio Becerra. Then Becerra would go on to win his second game. Then he would draw his third game against Canada Master Raghav Venkat, who I call Lord Kit Kats. And then we would go on to the fourth round, and he would. Actually, no. Was that what he did? I don't remember. Oh, no, sorry. He would be a little kid named David Broadman, who basically is like a 2000. Then he would draw Raghav and in the fourth round, and then in the fifth round, he's paired against me. So in the total, he has 3 points. He needs to win in order to guarantee money. So he has the white pieces, I have black, and he's simply going to go all out against me, trying to find the most ways, to complicate and get the most winning chances possible. So he plays the move e4. I played the move e5, knight f3, and initially I was going to play the move knight c6 here, go into like a Spanish since I saw his game where he goes for the exchange. But I did not want to complicate myself and thought I had to stick with my guns and stick to some of my preparation, so I played the move knight f6, going for the Petro. Again, knight takes c5, d6, knight f3, knight takes, queen e2, queen e7, d3, knight f6, bishop g5, takes, bishop e7, knight c3, c6. And after a while, we just castled, and the position looks kind of parallel. We have ways for us to develop. Initially, I was thinking I had to go like something bishop e6, but I like the idea of knight d4. And I was trying to find ways to simply activate, because here I was pretty much on my own. I really did not have any clue on what to do. Well, actually, over here I was pretty much on my own. I really had no clue what to do. I thought the position was just kind of parallel, very symmetrical. And I was simply waiting for him to see whenever he would like ever move this pawn. When he moved this pawn, I knew I could put my bishop in e6, but that's why he was waiting to see what I would do. He played the move h3 for that reason, prophylaxis. And I played the move b6, which was an inaccurate move. What I should have done was the move rook e8, and after a move like bishop d1, now I can play, I think, the move knight bd7. He cannot chop. And if something like knight d4, the engine would have wanted bishop c5, which I thought was just kind of crazy. Like, I don't know, let's just say I take rook e1. Apparently, I can just play knight c7 and I'm okay. Like, there's no tricks. Like bishop e1, just take the knight, I guess. Just literally just take the knight and go knight f6. Somehow, black is simply surviving the coffin, which is just really just, again, computer stuff. I did not really think much about it. I instead opted for the move b6, wanted to put my bishop on b7. He goes bishop d1, attacking my bishop with his rook. So I immediately go to defend it. Bishop b7, bishop f4, knight e8. Simply, I felt kind of depressed here, kind of deprived, because I literally had to make these pathetic moves, simply not to allow his bishop to win my rook, because his bishop would have gone to d6. He went for the move g5. I went for move f6, thinking this was my only way to break open the position. Rook g1, which was his mistake. Here he should have probably gone for the move h4, which I thought was very, very critical. I thought this was the move he was initially going to play, because after I take it, he would have taken. I would have taken it, and if I took back, I thought, okay, he gets the open file, and I'm simply just cracked here, like this is lost. But apparently the engine likes knight takes g5, and this is just really, really good. I would have gone like bishop f6, knight e6, and rook c7. And this looks painful. Like this looks suicidal, basically. So yeah, f6. He went g1. I was extremely lucky to see this move because I thought, okay, hold on a minute. I chop. He chops, and I go bishop c8. And really, when you look at this position, this is so depressing. It looks like I'm playing Fischer knight 60 with these pieces. All my pieces are in the back rank. You're like, there's no way I survived this. Like, what the hell am I doing? This is a 2400 GM. This guy is, champion of Cuba. What the fuck am I doing? Like, this looks really bad. Also, I'm sorry for my American cursing right there, but Yeah, like literally, what the hell am I doing? But then he plays the move bishop g4, and I think, okay, now this kind of makes sense. Again, the reason I went for bishop c8 was simply just not to allow him to go bishop g4. So he plays bishop g4 anyways. I'm like, hold on, now I can chop. He chops. Now I can chop again. He chops. Knight e7. And after rook e7, I like to have the move rook f7. And I'm like, okay, wait, am I saving this game against Julio Becerra? He chops the rooks. I go knight f6, rook g3, rook e8, king d1, knight h5, and here I was actually offering a repetition. I would, if he would have done rook g4, I would have done knight f6, rook g3, and knight h5. I would have repeated like this. I expect him to go for the move rook f3, and then king g6, and I thought the game continued. But no, instead, he went for the move rook d3, offering the trade. I simply trade the rooks, king e6, brought my king open, c5, e4. After a while I took, he took back, h6, g5, knight went back, I went knight f6. And here you can see that actually the engine likes my position. But I was actually very scared. I thought maybe if he gets his bishop somehow to b8 and attacks on a7, I always had to be very, very cautious. Played the move h5, and I played the move move h4. Simply after this point, I knew that I would be able to have good drawing chances simply because at any point I could literally go g4, sack this pawn, put my king back, and simply I'll be fine, I'll be happy. King f5. But apparently the engine says that I was winning, I did have advantage after knight f1, had I played the move knight to e5. And I thought, okay, knight h2, but I guess knight h5 and knight h5, there's advantage because knight g3 check. King f2. Because now king d2 doesn't work because I can simply just take the knight. And if king f2, I just take on d3. I did not see this in the game. I really did not see this. I was looking for ways to make sure, but apparently knight h5, you would have had to done like something else, like knight g4, but I think I could just trade and... Oh, wow. And then king d2, and this endgame is winning. Wow, this endgame, I did not see this. Was this really that good, or? Oh wait, oh no, I have to be careful. So apparently I have to go knight g6. Then knight e5, and then I will win simply because he cannot go bishop h2, because knight e5, and if he trades, takes, his king, his king will get my pawn, but I simply will pick up the g4 pawn. And he can't do d4 because again, two passers. I'm simply gonna queen first. Wow, I did not see that in the game. I missed my chance completely, and I simply decided to bail out. Again, my whole mentality during the game was simply trying to hold, so I went king f5, knight e5, knight e3, king e6. And here he offers a repetition, but then he declines it and goes knight g2. I went knight c7. Funny move, actually. Not funny move, funny fact. When I played the move knight f7, this was not my intention. I initially was holding the piece, and I was placing it on the g6 square, but I still did not let go of it. And I realized if I let go of it, he would have been able to take on g5, and I would effectively lose the game. So instead, I literally just panic, and I'm still holding the knight, so I still get to move it, and I then release it back on its original square, and then decide to just touch it and place it on f7. And because it is legal, I did have to move the knight, and I simply just put the knight on f7. I was extremely lucky I had this square. If not, he would have won the game. He played the move a4, king f5, a5, again, trading the pawns. And now finally, after this second repetition here, I realize, I look at my score sheet, it's been a 3-4 repetition, I have now drawn Julio Becerra. No words, I feel extremely happy, I feel really great. Hopefully you guys enjoy this game, hopefully you guys tell me how you feel about this game. Like really, this game was probably the best game I ever played in my life. It was against, again, I think 3-time Cuban champion, um, you know, Olympiad representative for Team Cuba, Julio Becerra. And this is like the 9-time or 11-time Florida State champion right here. Simply glad to hold him down. Like he really, he's really something else, a legend of the game. Nothing but respect, nothing but praise. And he was like praising me, saying I was playing well, so I really felt grateful again for the opportunity. Felt really humbling. In total, I gained I think around 20 and 30 points of UCF rating, so I should be like 2290 right now. And FIDE wise, I did cross 2,000. So again, the road to IM is growing. The road to FM is getting over there. So I am going all the way in. I am getting all the way there. The journey is only starting. I got 2 years left, so let's see how that goes. But yeah, guys, this is, if I ever look back on this, this is probably my favorite tournament or simply my best tournament so far in Florida. This is simply my best tournament in Florida and my best tournament of all time. So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys for everything. Love you guys, and yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like again, old man Becerra, he still tries. Like he's still trying. He's always on the top boards, always winning. First time I ever saw him with like 3 points actually in round five, so I knew that this was a really strong tournament and that everyone was getting their money's worth. Like no one was a slouching or anything. You had to really work hard simply to secure the half point or the full point. And again, like I drew Henry Soto, who was 2500 UCF, 2400 68 FIDE. I drew Eric, who's 2200 FIDE, and I drew Becerra again, who was another 2400 FIDE. So again, like two 2500s, one 2300. I pretty much gained elo, and I simply did incredible 3.5 out of 5. So yeah, nothing but great, nothing but praise. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. I'm gonna share you guys um no, I think that's it. Yeah. Again, tell me guys if you like my haircut. I'm gonna dye it tomorrow, like dark purple. So yeah, love you guys again, and peace. Laters.